Hey, what's up, guys? Kaiser here, and I'm hanging out, just grabbing a quick bite at Manhasset Mall at the Toku out here. And I'm doing a few book reviews. And these are not the typical ones I do for the Better Body audience. This is for our franchise audience. So the first one I did had to do with the book, The E-Myth. It's a great book if you're interested in business, period, but definitely in the Better Body franchise. It's a book you want to read. And this book review right now that I want to talk about is the book Buying Customers. It's by a guy, Brad Sugars. I've never met him personally, but I own a lot of his books. He's an Australian guy. And it's a funny thing, things that I hear from people in Australia, our trainer Joseph was there recently, and he's telling me that these guys in Australia are very high-tech. They're very systematized. There are a few folks that I know from there. And again, they're very systems-oriented. And that's a main lesson that you can learn from Brad's book. Now, books. Now, when it comes to this book, Buying Customers, a lesson you can learn is a look into a lot about how Better Body operates. How if you own your own location, if you're a franchisee, how your location would operate. And really what you're in the business in is of buying customers, buying members. What that means, well, in typical business, the whole idea of buying members is somewhat flawed. Like I said, right here, I'm at Toku, you're catching me eat, catching me drink. And here, so they pay for this outstanding location. Someone comes in, they wow them, maybe they come back. Maybe they don't come back. But at Better Body, we have great locations. We do spend a lot of money. But we have a low-priced trial. Those of you that are members or have ever been a member here, you know that we have a trial where we get someone in, we get them to come in, we advertise and get someone to come in, and they decide whether or not they want to stay. Now you lose money up front. When you do a Groupon, when you do a low-priced trial, there is a certain mathematics behind our business. You know, there's not an unlimited number of people we can have in our business. There's not an unlimited number of classes we can have. So if we have too many people doing cheap trials, then what's the benefit from us? At the end of the day, at a certain point, the math does not work. But it can work if you have the right mindset, the right approach to it. And it's a buying customers approach, where whether you advertise, and you can spend thousands upon thousands to advertise when you open a Better Body location, what you're looking for is to get people to come in, to get people to try it out, and those that really want the service, maybe about a half of them, you want to get them to stay. One of the main things you're gonna notice about what we do is that we get people to stay. People stay for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. We've only been around 7 years, and we have more people that I can count that have been around for all 7 of them. So that customer value is very high. So your only question to ask is, how much can I spend to get customers? Because when you keep the member, then you're always gonna see an ROI on that value. Now that brings us to the second point, which is keeping that member. That's the most important piece of the equation. And that's the other part of Brad's book. He spends half the book, even though it's a marketing book, even though it's a business, a sales book to some degree, he talks about customer retention. All the important stuff you have to do, the absolute above and beyond level of service that you have to do to keep that customer so that you can afford to buy them. And that's another principle that our business is built on. So on the one hand, it's the marketing side, attracting the people, getting them in. On the other hand, it's that above and beyond, wow them every single time service. Those of you that have been long-term members, you know this, that we always continue to get better, and that's probably why you're watching this, why you want to be a franchisee in the first place. So Buying Customers, guys, is going to give you a good look into how Better Body operates, and it's going to give you a good understanding of business in general, no matter what business you're in. It applies to places like this, to places like Toku, but it applies more directly and more precisely to a better business like Better Body, where you have a member, where you keep a membership, you keep them happy, you can keep them for year upon year. They refer, and then that customer value just gets very high and makes it a very, very strong business. So there's your other little piece of homework on your reading list. You have the E-Myth so far. You have this book, Buying Customers by Brad Sugars, and I'll be having more books for you. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and you'll be hearing from me again soon.